Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Well, speaking good or in a nice way is very important for all of us, and many of us don't realize how we sound. It's only when a teacher notices that maybe you have a lot of spaces that they might comment on it. And also, many English teachers focus so much on grammar and vocabulary that they don't and can't give any help with regards to accent reduction. It's very much an area which many schools and teachers avoid. I think it's because partly there's so many regional accents around the UK that they kind of avoid getting involved with the idea that you should have one of them. And as I always say, it's very, very important that you find your place in the English world. That doesn't mean that you need to rush away and move somewhere, but you should have some starting point, some place that you can say, this is my place in the English world. It might be a city like London. It might be somewhere more abstract, more off the beaten track, as we say, like Scotland. But whatever your starting point is, make sure you get as much media from that place, and then you can build on top of that. We have regional idioms, and it's very important that you connect with those. And it's also important that if you are really wanting to develop an accent, that you have a base. You can say to yourself, okay, my base is London. Everything I will learn will be from the London area. I'll involve myself with London media. And then as you encounter different accents and different idioms, you can say, well, I don't need to know that because it's American, or I only need to know that because it's on that particular TV show. As I often tell people, even I don't understand everything across the English world. When I'm watching reality TV shows, my understanding drops to as little as 80%. So you see, English is very, very regional. And once you get past the basic grammar, which we all speak and write, then you need to dig a little bit deeper. And that'll take you closer to the way we speak, which is more colloquial. So have a starting point. Let's call it a city. If you love American media, American culture, you want to live in America, then try to find a teacher who's in New York or whichever city you're going to. One thing about Americans is they're very good with stuff like accent reduction. If you are planning to come to London, then find a teacher like me who will spend time with you explaining about different regional accents. But wherever you go, you need to have a place as your base, okay? A place which you can say, okay, this is my identity in the English world. It could be related to why you're learning it. If it's just a hobby, or if you're planning to come to university here, use that, use that knowledge because it will help you. But all of us here grow up in a particular area that shapes us, it affirms us, and from that platform, we approach English, okay? So, of course, you can be quite global about it. You don't have to restrict yourself to that media. For the purposes of practicing, it would be a really good idea. Right, so holiday season's over. You might be coming back to university to do presentations, coming back to work, and I know many people out there do jobs which they're used to, but they might not like. So English and second languages is very sensitive. It can be very politicized, like a weapon. What does the boss think of my English? Or my boss is criticizing my English, but I know he's wrong and I can't say anything. All of these things come up, you know, so you need to be very careful. But let's get into some topics. So, first of all, those of you who know me, you know that I really advocate shadowing. Shadowing is when you listen to someone and you try to repeat and imitate the sounds they make. Now, as I've mentioned before, shadowing is nothing to do with repeating words. You just hear someone making noises, even if it's just ba 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 ba, and use a 10, and you repeat and imitate what you're hearing. Okay, so the more you don't think about that and just repeat the sounds, the better it is. It's what kids do. So that's the number one thing you can be doing for 20 minutes a day. And make sure your shadowing material is from the place that you love. The second tip that I have for you, of course, is to look at your breathing. You know, these days we are all doing stressful things and we're kind of out of touch with our body. So many of us are taking a big deep breath in and then we're holding it and speaking from it, you know, like, yeah, my name's Joseph and I'm an English teacher. It sounds stressed, it's bad for your body. So you need to get back into that rhythm of a deep breath in and out. In and out. And as you push the words out, as you push your breath out, you can add the words. Okay, so when you're breathing out, fill the air with sounds. Okay. The next thing I always tell you about, of course, is to make sure that you are using pitch and tone, because if you always speak flat like this, it will sound like you're going to the Vatican. So just make sure that you have plenty of ups and downs in your voice. There's no right way of doing that, but maybe if you just watch some clips, notice how often we do it. Newscasters especially tend to start high and bring their voice down. But I mean, I don't go to the coffee shop and say, I would like a black coffee, please. You know, we'd be a bit dramatic for the coffee shop. So I would like a black coffee, please. Oh, a black coffee, please. You know, something like this, but equally, I wouldn't say, I want a black coffee. It would be a little bit creepy. Anyway, so those are two of the tips I have for you. Breathing, making sure that your pitch and tone is okay. That takes a bit of practice. But ultimately, you'll be copying someone. So choose a voice that you like. You can do it with me on this podcast if you want. But it's very important that you imitate a voice that you like, an accent that you want to gain. So, shadowing would be a daily exercise you could do, imitating but not trying to understand. Looking at your breathing, making sure that you're breathing well. Some people call it diaphragmatic breathing, a big deep breath from inside and push the air out with words on it. Pitch and tone, your voice going up and down. And the other thing, of course, is to make sure that your words are joined together. So if you are speaking like this, then it must change. So if I, as an English teacher in my classes, if I keep saying, my name is Joseph and I am an English teacher, you would think it a little bit strange. You might even think that I'm some kind of AI, or at least a very dull person. But actually, I think what you really need to do is just take that breath in, and as you breathe out, see your sentence as one expression or one word. Listen to this. My name is Joseph and I'm an English teacher. Doesn't that sound better? Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be so dramatic about it, you know. You don't have to go up to your university professor and say something like, Hi, my name is Laura. Which is a bit strange, wouldn't it? So, of course, you have to get a balance right, but you do have to get rid of those spaces, you know? So you just simply join the words together a little bit more by softening the endings and also by moving sounds, you know? So, for example, if I say, the cat is in the room, I can say the cat is. The cat is. And the space is denied. The cat is in the room. You can hear there as well. The room. The E moves very nicely onto the R. So that's something else for you to think about there. So there we are. That's just a few hints and tips for you. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and that's it. All right. So I wish you all a wonderful day ahead, and yeah, take care. So we'll talk soon. Bye.